Hello everyone and welcome back. Let's see, where should I go? Okay. There we go. So, today we're talking about pressure. Now you might think you know what pressure is. Probably certain of it. No, you aren't. But we're going to learn pretty quickly. So, in real life you don't actually feel forces. I mean, you feel weight, sort of, but where do you feel weight? You feel it on the bottom of your feet. If you go on the tips of your toes, it feels different. If you are wearing giant clown shoes, it probably feels even different then. If you're floating in water, it feels different then. The reason is because you don't feel gravity pulling you down as much as you feel the pressure of the ground on your feet. It's pushing up. And you feel pressures. If somebody pokes you, you don't feel a force. You feel the pressure of their finger pressing against you. Now, what is pressure? You're like, well, isn't pressure just a force? Pressure is force divided by area. Force divided by area. You see that right here. Now, this is important. So you can kind of think of it like as an average force. The more area you divide that force over, the less force, the less pressure you feel. So a smaller area means a bigger pressure for the same amount of force. Now the units of pressure are the Pascal, right here. Cool name. It's always abbreviated PA. Pascal. And that's 1 Newton per meter squared. Okay, now why do you know pressure? You know pressure, you just don't realize that you know it. Let me give you 2 scenarios. So scenario 1, you see somebody walking down the aisle in an airplane. Okay, it's kind of terrifying because of COVID-19. Let's try something different. Something else. You see somebody walking down the aisle in an airplane, and they've got these giant clown feet. I mean, like, they are huge, and they're a pretty heavy-set person. And they're walking towards you, and your foot, it's stuck. It's so asleep, you can't move it. They're about to step on it. Oh! Or, option 2. You are still there, your foot's still asleep, and you can't move out of the way, but instead of giant clown feet, you see a fairly small person wearing high heels, like stiletto heels, those tiny, tiny things, and they're about to step on your foot with the heel. Ooh! Which one would you rather? Probably neither. Now, let's just be honest, can I avoid this? Do I have a friend there, maybe? Can someone else take the fall? No, you gotta choose one. And hopefully you would choose the guy with the giant clown feet. Because that's a large area to distribute that force over. The stiletto heels, they're called stilettos for a reason. Stilettos are a knife. They will really hurt because that force is over a small area, so it has a large pressure. Similar situation, would you ever balance a knife, like a very sharp knife, by its point? You wouldn't. Would you ever drop a knife point first towards your hand? You wouldn't. Reason? Because that point is an extremely small area, and so the force of that knife is focused at that tiny point, making a very large pressure. However, I wouldn't mind the handle of a knife hitting me. Even if it's a sharp knife, the handle hits my hand? Okay, because the handle isn't sharp. All that force is distributed over a larger area. Okay? Force over area. This is why you know this. Because there's so many things in life where you're like, I don't want to press on that sharp corner. If you're poking somebody, you use your elbow for a reason, because it's a point. Or a point. Different things. Okay, super simple little problem right here. We have 2 scenarios. We have one where we have a 5 Newton force both times. But in one case, we have a 5 meter squared area. In another case, a 1 meter squared area. Now, this is harder because the surface actually matters is the one on the bottom, the one that's actually pressing against something. That's the area that we care about. We don't care about the side areas. We don't care about that. We care about the area that is perpendicular to the force. Okay, so 5 newtons, 5 meters squared. Well, force over area, 5 divided by 5 is 1 Pascal. Similar case, 5 newtons, but 1 meter squared, we have 5 Pascals. So the area decreased by, decreased by a factor of 5, and the pressure increased by a factor of 5. It's all proportional. So remember that. If you're trying to keep something from breaking, like if you're trying to hold a bowling ball with tissue paper, then you need to figure out a way to spread out that force over a large surface area. there's so many cool examples of this. There's actually this awesome lily pad in Japan. It's giant. It is literally huge, like 2 foot across. And that lily pad is amazing because it can actually hold a person. It can hold the force of a person standing on it, as long as you're careful when you get on, because it spreads out that force over such a large area. So cool examples of this are all around. Well, I hope this helps you. Next time we're going to be doing some more interesting examples where we go into gas pressure. If you're wondering, like, why do we stick such a short time with pressure? It's because this is a fairly simple concept. If you grasp force, you kind of grasp pressure. Gas pressure is a little bit different. We'll have to take some more time with that. So I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.